Hello and welcome to episode 105 of Ready to Mosh. I'm Gem G, and with me, the berries to my cherries, it's Mr. Kev P.
Oh, berries cherry cider. Get in.
It's a favourite.
It is. An appropriate one for this episode as well.
Well, yeah, we try and keep things appropriate, don't we?
We do.
Well,
sometimes.
Kinda, you know. So this episode is a review of a gig we went to on Friday at the Hairy Dog in Derby, which is fast becoming our favourite little venue.
Definitely, yeah.
This was an awesome show put together by Unearthed Music, so thank you to Liam for the invite down for this one. The headliners were Evile, and there were 4 awesome support bands on the lineup as well, who were Thrasherwolf, Blacklist, King Abyss, and Hellfekted.
Well remembered.
And then there's a little pause there which may get edited out because I went blank partway through.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll crack on with the review then. So first band up then were Thrasherwolf, who we saw earlier this year at Mangata, so we were very much looking forward to seeing them again.
Yeah, they were really good. Enjoyed them earlier this year. And yeah, it was a good way to kick the night off.
So yeah, there was a good crowd there at the start to see them play. And I think with all the bands on the list tonight as well, they all seem to have quite a lot of support there with them.
There was a lot of support for everybody, yeah. That's fair to say. And Thrasherwolf, like we said, we've seen them before, but they're just getting louder and better.
Yeah, and they've always got so much energy, haven't they?
Yeah, I did find there was one moment where they tried to get a pit going in the middle, but the people they were kind of aiming it at were, how can I put this, an older generation?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, although there was a good crowd there, it was probably about halfway through the night before any pits really got going, I think, although the crowd were there physically. I don't think they were quite warmed up as much.
They weren't necessarily, I think necessarily they weren't the crowd that were going to be doing the pits.
Yeah.
But yes, that was quite funny, but yeah, it was interesting. There were some confused looks by the guys in the band, but it is what it is.
It did feel like as well they were on a much bigger stage this time, because they were in the red room, rescue rooms last time, which obviously very small, very low stage. They did seem much more kind of up there, if you know what I mean.
And they seem to be having a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah, it was good to see that energy. That kind of like fun, we're having a good time energy that they kind of portrayed. And to this day, I still don't understand how. I'm not sure of kind of like the age of the band, but how can people that age have that voice?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's because it is such a powerful voice, and it blows me away every time.
Yeah, and as always, at the end of the set, Dan went for a wander around the room with his guitar through the crowd.
Yeah, and we also got treated to a new song from their upcoming second album called GBH. Yeah,
it's mad to think that they're on the second album already, isn't it?
Yeah, and the song was really good actually. It was because it was nice to listen to like some of my favourites from their first album. But then to get this new one, which I think went down really well.
I can say that it went down really well, and there was crowd participation that they requested for that as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant.
So yeah, it was a great way to get the crowd warmed up and open up the night. And then next up were Blacklist, who are the second band on the night that are part of the trifecta of Thrasherwolf, Blacklist and Hellfekted. Blacklist is the one that we were least familiar with, really, because we've seen the other 2 bands before and listened to them a lot, but for some reason we hadn't seen Blacklist or listened to them as much.
Yeah, they completely passed me by, but I definitely want to make up for that now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they had absolutely kind of like visceral, raw vocals, but it was a polished sound as well.
Yeah, some incredible guitar riffs going through their set.
Yeah, really technical skill. They'll definitely want to watch. And I remember thinking on the night that the drummer just kind of like seemed really relaxed, just chill out, just at a different tempo to everybody else. And it wasn't until later in the night that we discovered they're not a 3-piece, they're a 4-piece.
Yeah, they made that announcement, didn't they, partway through the set. To be honest, I remember when they came on, I thought, I don't remember them being a 3-piece.
Yeah.
You don't often see that with that type of band, really, do you? As much.
And yeah, there was a lot of, it seemed really tense as well, because I think it was the original the normal drummer, had to pull out of the gig but it was quite close to the date of the gig.
Yeah, I think
that
it's
makes sense.
about 5 days before, I think.
4 or 5
Something
days
like that,
before, yeah. But it's a gig that they've had booked for months. And I think there was a bit of tension and stress in the air. So the guy that played the drums is the guitarist.
Yeah, the rhythm guitarist. So they did have his guitar going through as a backing track, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because they said if you can hear it, that's why. I mean, to be honest, performance-wise, if we hadn't have known that, although they didn't quite look right, sound-wise, I don't think you would have noticed.
No, I thought they were excellent. And they're a band that I'd like to see again.
Yeah, be looking out for them.
Third band up then were King Abyss. And it's really strange with King Abyss because when you'd see King Abyss walking around, they seem kind of like quite an introverted sort of band initially. I don't know if you got that feeling.
Yeah, I would say so.
And then, but as soon as they kind of like step on stage and start sound checking, everything changes once they start playing.
Yeah, it is quite a marked contrast kind of between visual and sound, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very different. Yeah, absolutely relentless, really fast, some intricate guitar playing. Really impressed with that. And yeah, like the drumming, perfect. Everything was perfectly set up. It felt like.
Yeah, they seem like a really well-oiled machine with their live show now. And for some reason, we haven't seen them before yet, but they've been on our radar for a while because we recommended them. I think it was earlier this year when their latest album, Snake Oil, got released.
Yeah.
We really loved that. But the opportunity hasn't come up until now to actually see their live show.
Yeah, and I mean, the amount of kind of like ferocity that band puts out, you've got lead singer who, when he starts, he looks like he could rip buildings apart.
I was going to say, he's got this crazed look about him once he
does,
starts.
yeah.
And I think the crowd were really warming up at this point as well, weren't they?
Yeah. He has the look of a serial killer. He looks like he's going to snap at any minute. But that driving force there, it's like a whirlwind. And I think everybody was getting really into this as well.
Yeah, it definitely although the crowd was good from the start, like we said, it really kind of turned the temperature up in the room at that point. And
yeah,
really glad we finally got to see them live and want to see them again.
Again, another band to watch again.
Next up then were another band that we have seen before, Hellfekted. So, local band from Derby. We saw them also at Mangata early this year on the main stage there, and they were absolutely amazing and did not disappoint again tonight.
No, solid choice as a sub-headliner. They have loads of energy, lots of fun, bringing a shitload of beach balls as well.
I'd forgot about the beach balls. Yeah, they kind of went on for the rest of the night, really.
They did, yeah. I think there was a couple knocking about, but then as it got later into the night and Hellfekted were playing, there were beach balls going absolutely fucking everywhere.
There was actually one earlier on during the Thrasherwolf.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
that was nearer the front, and I think one came near me, but I was filming. But yeah, there were loads flying around at that point.
Yeah, and they got a load of pits going, and they were just encouraging more and more, and they looked pretty brutal from where I was.
Yeah, I say at that point, the crowd were really warmed up at that point, when they're absolutely into the pits. They were flying all over the place, circles.
Yeah, band encouraging even more. And yeah, as expected, it was kind of like a frantic pace, really well-versed hooks, and another band that played a new song as well, called The Prophecy.
Yes, that was really good, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So it was kind of good that all these bands are showcasing that actually they've got more stuff coming, because it's been a really big year for, I'd say, all of these bands. And the fact that more stuff's just coming at you constantly, it's really great to listen to.
Yeah, it's great to see all of these bands coming through and bringing that kind of old school thrash sound and keeping it going, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that I hope is going to make a resurgence. So we actually get a really good thrash scene again.
Yeah, and what I love as well about these kind of shows is that you've got that kind of wide age range in the crowd and loads of battle jackets there, and it does feel a kind of very old school type of show, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the age range, absolutely spot on. It must have ranged between people in the 60s down to like 16.
Yeah.
That's how varied the age range was.
Yeah, and to end their set as well, there was an awesome rendition of Death of Iron with members of all three trifecta bands on stage, which was absolutely epic way to end it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good to watch live.
Yeah, it's my favourite song by theirs anyway, but yeah, that just gave it an extra level. And yeah, and they're actually recording their new album at the moment in the studio, so hopefully there'll be a chance to see them again soon.
Yeah.
And hear some more new tracks.
And then how do you top off a night like that? Make it an Evile night.
Yeah. And how have we not seen Evile before is the main question, really, isn't it?
Yeah, still blows my mind that we'd not seen them before, especially as I do really like Evile's music.
Yeah, they've been around for about at least 15 years, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, it just makes no sense. Yeah, they started off with a great opener, Killer from the Deep, and then into Sleepless Eyes.
Yeah, which can't beat that really, can you, for an opening 2 tracks?
Yeah, everyone really seemed to be up for it as well. And the place was absolutely heaving at this point.
Yeah, obviously, being around that amount of time, they're going to have a good following. I know they've recently been out on tour supporting their latest album, but I think they're just one of those bands that people just want to keep seeing time and again.
Well, they just captivate everybody with that kind of like heavy melodic thrash sound. And I feel like these are a band that can headline festivals.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
they've got an incredible back catalogue, and they're more than comfortable just blasting through different parts of it.
Yeah, so it was a really varied set. Obviously, we got stuff from the new album, but there was a good range from all of their stuff.
Yeah, and I loved the way that they introduced Monolith.
Yeah.
It's so heavy you might die.
Obviously, we didn't.
No. But as lucky survivors, I've got to say, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's like that bass just kind of like really grinds away at you. And yeah, really incredible throaty, snarly vocals through that. And then into Gore, which again like had loads of interaction.
Yeah, we've said already that the crowd was kind of building up as the night went on, and it was kind of absolutely at its peak at this point. They did play one of my favourites, The Thing.
Yes.
I love that track. So yeah, I'm really glad they played that one.
Yeah, and it seemed to be played at like a million times faster than normal.
Yeah.
It was just so quick. And I don't even know how they managed to do that. But yeah, what a way to finish it.
I think as well, it just seemed to go so quickly, the whole set, because they were on for, was it about an hour?
Yeah, it's going to be the best part of an hour, because it was like 13, 14 songs.
Yeah, I think the previous bands all got about half hour each, didn't they?
Yeah.
And even though they had twice as long, it just seemed to fly by, and before you knew it, they were at the end.
Well, yeah, they actually forgot to mention that they were only a couple of songs away from finishing.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how quickly it went for them and for us. And yeah, they ended up finishing off with a cover of Paranoid.
Yeah, which was great.
Yeah,
unexpected.
Unexpected, great little finish. I'm glad I finally ticked them off though, because they are a band I've been wanting to watch for a long time.
Yeah, I feel they probably have been at festivals that we've been to before, but for whatever reason, it's just
not worked.
They've just passed us by, yeah.
But we won't make that mistake again.
Oh no, and I'm sure there'll be an opportunity to see them at some point again.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, an absolutely epic evening of thrash.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. 5 excellent bands.
Yeah, really great combination, I guess. An excellent lineup put together.
It was, yeah. Yeah. There were so many strengths that they all had, and everything just seemed to mix so well.
Yeah, and definitely recommend checking out all of the bands. I guess most people have heard of Evile, but the other ones might be new to some people that you haven't listened to before. So yeah, make sure you go and check all of those bands out because they're all awesome.
You'll also be able to see on our socials lots of images, videos from the gig, and you'll be able to find those on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at Ready to Mosh Cast, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube at Ready to Mosh. But more importantly, if you like what you've been listening to, give us a like, a share, 5 stars on whichever platform you're listening to, and maybe even write a nice little review, because it all helps. And we'll be back soon with another episode.
Make it mosh moog.